Namaskar. Let's talk again about joy. When do we experience joy? Joy, whenever you actually is an attribute of consciousness. So either when you achieve consciousness or you are on the way towards consciousness. When you make a step towards consciousness, when you move, when you pass a certain distance and you have elevated yourself. Yesterday you were less and today you are more. In that situation, in that case, if you have managed to move forward, if you manage to progress, then you feel joy. So joy is life. So my question here is how to make life such that it is full of life. Life can be lifeless, but successful life is the life which is full of life. How to judge whether my life is successful or not? On those moments, how many moments of joy you had? How many moments of triumph? How many moments of victory? How many moments of expansion? So that is the proportion of life. So in this video I want to explain the process of cultivation of life. How to bring more life into your life. So first factor is that to grow, to expand, you must have a goal and you must have a challenge. Comfortable life is very poor. It has very little percentage of life. The challenge in life, when you are placing before you something which you are not sure whether you will be able to do it or not, but you still do it. You're moving forward, you're overcoming the obstacles. That life has a high percentage of life. Concentrated. So, goal is must. And for the goal, for the attainment of the goal, what is must? What is necessary? What is the prerequisite of achieving the goal? An obstacle. We should see an obstacle not as something negative, but as something extremely positive. An obstacle is the step towards the goal. But if we see an obstacle as something negative, then we can be demotivated. But we should see it as a positive. Like for example, I cannot do it because I don't have money. That is a negative thinking. And positive thinking, for achievement of this goal, I need this much money. To get this much money, I need to do this. You see, when you think like this, the inspiration starts to flow within your blood. You just feel like energized, energetic. So obstacle, the greater the obstacles, the higher you will go. The obstacle is the trampoline, is the ramp towards the achievement. So positive attitude towards obstacles. And then, but to go through the obstacles, it's just like to pass through a small hole. There has to be pressure. So that pressure, there are two types of pressure. One pressure is internal, it is called inspiration, and another pressure is called external pressure. There are three types of people according to their level of development. First one is called Pashu. Pashu means animal mind. Human body, but animal psychology. The animal system of priorities. Such person is always serving to his ego. His I want, I don't want. This I want and I don't want is in the center of life. So that is very miserable condition. Because always I want comfort. I want peace. I don't want struggle, right? But in struggle you get joy. So for the development of this kind of person, there must be external pressure. That person is unable to experience internal inspiration. There must be external pressure. And external pressure is like, I need to make money, I need to pay for my apartment, I need to provide for my family this. These are all different kinds of external pressures. And external pressure can also be voluntarily chosen. Like, I accept that external pressure. I understand that I need this external pressure. Like many people, they go for the work and then they think, okay, when I retire, then I am going to enjoy. But when he was working, there was a rhythm. There was a pressure, and there was a rhythm, and there was an effort, there was a struggle. And then suddenly he became comfortable, but the percentage of life in life has become very, very small. So there is no enjoyment. And it is statistically also, when people retire, they very quickly become sick and they die. So external pressure is extremely important. Also, your teacher in the sports, in business, in spirituality, can provide that pressure. It is the job of the teacher to provide the pressure for the disciple. Not to be afraid of the conflict, but to pressurize the disciple to be a better personality. So I had many teachers, and some of them were very kind. I remember them fondly. But one was very tough. He was very tough with me. And he always used to pick up on my ego, and he would just, provoke me many times and pressurize me. He would forbid the things that I like and force me to do things that I don't like. So at times I really hated him, really very strongly. Just my entire body is boiling. I'm like, wow, this man, I want to hit him. I want to tell him very bad things. But he is my teacher. So with him, I learned slowly peace. How to accept the acceptance. And of all my teachers, I love him the most. Because it is because of him I acquired the energy that I needed in life. I acquired that momentum, I acquired that inspiration in life. I think without him I would be I think I would not be able to utilize my potentialities without him. So he played really pivotal, very crucial role in my life. So from the disciple, it is very necessary to be able to take that pressure. If you're not able to take your pressure, your greatness is measured on how much pressure you can take and still remain positive. So your strengths, the more pressure you take, the more powerful you become. One of my teachers also, he is saying, Sadhananda, what are you? Are you wood or are you gold? If the fire burns you, you are wood. But if fire purifies you, you are gold. So decide what you are. You are wood or you are gold? I say, I am gold, Dada. I will be gold. So be gold. Don't allow the external world to demotivate you. Take the pressure of the external world as the blessing. And I'm okay, Dada. So this is the philosophy of life. So Pashu stage is the person actually purely motivated by external pressure. There is not yet internal inspiration. At the next stage is called Vira, Vira Bhava. Vira means, it is a Sanskrit word, it means a hero. The hero psychology. From within, you ask yourself questions. Who am I? What is my mission? What is my purpose? What should I do? How should I live my life? What should I accomplish in this life? So when you ask yourself these questions, slowly your purpose, your mission appears in your mind. And that purpose, that mission, gives you internal inspiration. So now no need to give pressure to you. Actually need, but it becomes less important. Very important becomes this internal inspiration. So Vira is the stage, heroic stage, where a person is motivated from within, and also he is motivated from externally, from without. So both factors are important in the life of Vira, in the life of the hero. External pressure, circumstances, burn the bridges. There is no way to retreat. Only forward. Only success. There is no way to fail. I'm not going to fail. I have burned my bridges. So that is the external pressure, you understand? There is nothing. Only forward. That's pressure. So either you create for yourself the pressure, or your teacher creates, or if it is passively, then the circumstances of life will just create for you. Not proactively, but it will be imposed on you. Anyway, you will be developing. But it is better you do it yourself. So external pressure. Now, internal motivation. Let's talk about internal motivation. It comes from three factors, mostly. Number one is Kirtan. It's actually basically one factor, but in three dimensions. Number one is Kirtan. This factor, the main factor, is a connection with the supreme source of inspiration. From there you always get the power. So number one is Kirtan. By singing mantra, for example. Baba nam kevalam, 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 Baba nam kevalam. Like this. Like mantra, Bhavanam Kevalam. It means consciousness is all there is. Love is all there is. So when you sing, it has such a power on the mind and the body. It changes the glandular secretions. It turns the brain into another stage, into another state. So you go into the state of energy. And then, in the state of energy, just recently I was on a retreat. And when I came, our organizer, she was a little bit complaining to me, Dada, it's very difficult. I have my job to earn money. Plus, on top of that, as a volunteer, I'm working for meditation steps, organizing this retreat, this and that. Oh, it's so difficult. And then I sympathized and empathized. But when we went to retreat, and then when we came back from retreat, she's driving me to the airport, and then we are talking about so many great ideas about the team, about development, what we are going to do. And then I say, look, just 3 days ago, you were complaining, but now you have so big plans and so big dreams. What is the difference? The difference that now you have got energy. Because of this rhythm, doing collectively meditation practice together, in a rhythm, like 4 times a day, again and again, sitting, enjoying, focusing, working together to focus our mind. After 3 days, you feel completely different. You feel your mind is just so uplifted. That is the internal support. That's the inner inspiration. And for me, this is a lifestyle. It means I do this very regularly to force myself to move. Otherwise, just like you exhausted your energy, you are just like a car without the gasoline. It's just standing there. It is a perfect car. It is perfectly capable of moving, but it doesn't have gasoline inside. So these spiritual practices, Kirtan, collective Kirtan, it creates powerful elevation of the mind. Svadhyaya, is another thing. Svadhyaya means reading spiritual literature. When you read and you come in touch with the great ideas, it just opens your heart. And then you will have many ideas, many solutions to your own life. You read something which may be not related even to your life, but it has lifted your mind to the such state that solution starts to pop in your mind. Svadhyaya. And then Satsanga. Satsanga external means surround yourself with the people of high energy, with the people of high morality and high consciousness. And you will be always inspired. It's just like a fire. If you create the bonfire, and then how to extinguish the bonfire? You take the woods apart, and they will be extinguished by themselves. And how to make the fire stronger? Bring more woods together, and by burning, they will the mutual burning process. They will heat up each other, and they will encourage the burning of each other. So when you create this company of highly energetic people, of people who are meditating, for people who are following morality, people who have some great idea in life, great mission in life, you will be always inspired. This is external satsanga. And internal satsanga is your inner connection with your deeper self, or with God within yourself, with consciousness within yourself. And that is meditation. So these are the three most important factors that gives you internal inspiration. And externally you must have a goal and you must have an obstacle. So always take care that you are not aimless. Like for life there has to be a goal, for the next 10 years have to be a goal, for 1 year has to be a goal, for 1 month has to be a goal, for 1 week has to be a goal, for 1 day there has to be a goal. And when you complete it, then you feel happiness, then you feel joy. When you struggle also to complete it, then also you have joy and happiness. So we have to live like that. And and ideal circumstances, if we get, first you agree, internally you agree in your mind. I'm ready for any kind of difficulty. I want to become extraordinary. I want to become better. I want to become stronger. I want to expand. I want to liberate my consciousness. First, you internally agree with that. And once you have agreed, and once you have decided to go through the obstacles, you are ready. Then the teacher can pressurize you and create very fast movement. Tomare bhalobeshe, tomare paurashe, jujite shatabadha, proshtut achiyami. This is a song in Bengali language written by my guru, and it says like this: Tomare bhalobeshe, in loving you, O Supreme, in loving you, tomare bhalobeshe, tomare paurashe, in trying to achieve you, I can fight hundreds of obstacles. You see? So this love is the most powerful support. When you have this longing for something great, when you have this love for something great, you're motivated. So trying to develop that love to the Supreme within yourself, doing sadhana, doing kirtan, being in a good company, reading spiritual books, that is the factors of the greatness. And always placing obstacles and taking external pressure. Because most of us, either in the stage of Pashu, the animal mind, or in the state of Vira, heroic human mind. And very few people in the state of Devata. Devata means only internal inspiration. External pressure doesn't matter. No need anymore, because I'm constantly in fire. I am every day in the stage of happiness, in the stage of deep motivation. So why I need external pressure? No need external pressure. So that's how we are. So yeah. And write in the comments about your development in life. Did you have a teacher like this, like in university? I had a teacher who was I thought, wow, she's so evil. But now I remember her fondly because she taught me something. And some other teachers, they were very kind, but they didn't leave any mark. So maybe you write also in comments. It will be interesting to read, like who was apparently very harsh, but played very, very important role in your life. And how did you manage to get internally inspired? What inspires you? And also, I will be grateful if you share this video. It is very important. It's like a formula of life. How to fill your life with life. It's such an important information. So if you share with others who are sad or who are not joyful enough, maybe it can change their life. So thank you very much for watching and namaskar.